What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Collector's Thoughts. We are continuing with the Halloween series. As always, I'm your host, Respawn Granted, co-host RB, Real Batman. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing all right. Got a little bit of a headache, but doing
Yeah.
good.
There we go. Before we get started today, we're obviously going to be talking about Halloween 5 and 6. I want to correct a mistake I made in the last video. There was a scene where I said that Michael Myers was in the house and Loomis was waiting for him and stuff. That actually happened in 5, not 4. The end of 4 was when he falls off the car and he's standing in front of a pit. The cops show up. They all start opening fire on him, and he falls into that tunnel or whatever the hell that is. That's how 4 ended. So I just wanted to correct that for anybody that's like, this guy's full of crap. Well, I realized the mistake I made. 4 and 5 tend to kind of blur together because there's some similarities there. And I watched all freaking 12 or 13 movies, whatever the hell it is, in 3 days. So I'm Michael Myers out, dude. But it was fun though. It was fun. I gotta admit,
it's fun, and we all make mistakes. And when you're watching that many movies, you're gonna get stuff twisted. It's that old saying, sometimes you have to watch a movie more than once before you really start to catch everything and appreciate it more. So It happens, dude. It happens.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's not like we're able to watch one movie and then talk about it. We're watching 3-4 movies at a time and then talking about it. So things tend to kind of blur after a while. And God knows with the Michael Myers storyline, it's confusing already as it is. So,
yep, that's true.
So I figured obviously we start off with 5.
Yep.
And 5 opens up where 4 left off, him getting shot. He falls into the pit. They end up throwing a stick of dynamite in. And I actually really liked the beginning of this one because it was kind of cool. It showed him actually crawl out the other end. So when it blows up, he actually just got out. He gets into the little stream type thing and it pulls him down. I thought it was pretty cool. Nothing out of the ordinary, no questioning how he got out of it. It actually tells you how he got out of it. So that was a cool opening in my opinion.
Look, I think we kind of touched on this on the last one. I think the biggest problem that we have with both these movies, and probably most fans, even the most casual Halloween fan, is probably the masks.
Yeah.
Because, we already said that the stories are kind of all over the place after Halloween 2. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been the theme with this franchise. Because they take such big breaks, although Halloween 4 and 5, not too bad because they're not that far apart in when they shot them, but I think it's a year or two apart. Mm-hmm. But the stories have been kind of all over the place. But I think the biggest problem with these 4 and 5, they're not bad movies. It's just the masks leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Even though I own both figures from Trick or Treat Studios for both these movies. So, but I think this movie is also good. I really like that the boyfriend who drives the muscle car, and ironically enough, his name is Michael or Mikey. The girlfriend calls him Mikey all the time. It's a good movie. I like it. It's definitely watchable.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. It's definitely it's one of those where there was definitely scenes that were memorable, like that scene that you're talking about with that character. I like when Myers puts that gardening tool on the back of his car and scratches it. He gets out like he's gonna fight him, and that quickly did not go in his favor.
He doesn't even get to finish it. He's like, trick or treat.
Yeah.
And puts it right through his forehead, dude.
Yep. And then stuffs him in the trunk. And I thought it was cool because then he ends up putting on the Halloween mask that was supposed to be for Mikey, and picks up the girlfriend. And I thought that was kind of cool, a little different right there, showing that Myers is actually 1, able to drive, and 2, being creative, wearing another mask.
Well, and that's one of the things, we talked about this a lot, and we're going to be talking about it throughout this, the Jason versus Myers. Jason definitely has the edge in terms of probably the strength. You can't kill either one, but in terms of IQ, it definitely goes to Michael Myers over Jason. No question about it in my mind.
Yeah, because we don't, at least I can't remember seeing Jason do things like that where he's kind of trying to blend in or hide or whatever. He's usually more I'll give it credit, he does stalk in the background and stuff, but yeah, it's usually the Jason mask and he comes in and does what he has to do. Whereas Myers, we've seen him a couple times now where he does what he had, like even in the first Halloween where he puts on the ghost sheet and the glasses to pretend to be the boyfriend. Like he does little tricks like that. And it's not that he needs to do it. He does it more to screw around with his victims, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like a cat toying around with a mouse type of thing. So really cool. I really like that. They throw in like another scene I remember too in this one was when they go to the party at the barn. And there's a guy coming, like one of the idiot boyfriends comes out dressed up as Michael Myers, and the cops come out, guns drawn, ready to fire. And then he takes off the mask. He's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding, guys," you know, like little stupid things like that. And then the real Michael Myers shows up and takes care of business again.
Yeah, know? And they think and they think it's the kids being punks again.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like sticking his head out the window, and Michael Myers just ends up housing both cops. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, one thing though, I have noticed watching all these Halloween movies again, and this kind of plays into, I think most of the Myers movies, is that he does a lot of kills off camera. Have you noticed that? Like he does a lot on, but he also has a lot of them where it's the body.
The older movies, like especially the ones in 78 into the 80s, like these, yes. But I think the same could be said too for like Jason.
See, I can't remember to be honest with you.
I think so. If I remember, I'm like, again, like we would have to go more in depth and watch all these movies, and we could always revisit this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't just have to be around Halloween. We could always revisit these down the line, and I'm pretty sure we will be covering Freddy, Jason, which I just didn't have the time. Which it sucks because I like to put everything into these videos, not just when we do these. Yeah. But I just didn't have the time to sit down and watch all these movies like you did. Mm-hmm. I'm going based off of memory, and I'm feeding off of what you're saying, and it's jogging my memory. Mm-hmm. But yes, that's a valid and fair point to point out that he does have some kills that are not on camera. Yeah. Especially in the older ones, it is a fair assessment to and something to point out. Yes.
Yeah, and the only reason why I bring that up is because in this movie there was a really cool scene where he kills the boyfriend with the pitchfork or the whatever the hay fork, whatever the hell you want to call it. Mm-hmm. He stabs it through the boyfriend while they're about to do it or they're doing it, whatever. Yeah, and that was pretty cool, like very nicely done. Then he comes out. I can't remember how he kills the girlfriend, so I'm not even gonna make it up. But he comes out and the cops are kind of like yelling at him because they think it's the boyfriend again, and then it cuts away. And then when it comes back, the cops are already dead.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I started thinking about it. I'm like, dude, he's had quite a few. And you're right. It's usually in the older movies where it's kills that are off camera. I don't know if it's a budget thing or whatever. Maybe it's to keep ratings at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, when you go back, like 5 was in 89.
Yeah.
Parents were like, if you remember the whole TMNT, and which was a year after, like they made a big thing about how it was too violent. Mm-hmm. The TMNT, the first TMNT movie, which is why it was the best one. So that's probably why they did things like this, because they didn't want to alienate parents back then. So I would imagine it has something to do with that, and plus trying to keep the movie short. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It definitely. Yeah. It could definitely be that, because that's one thing I do like is that most of the Michael Myers movies are within the hour and a half. So I do appreciate, not being extremely long movies.
They definitely didn't drag them out. That's for damn sure.
No, definitely not. And with this one, we see Jamie back again. She her psychic ability with her uncle is very almost like she can almost like when he's moving his hand and stuff, she moves her hand. She can't really talk that much, and she's kind of like she can even like draw what he's like seeing and stuff like that. Like.
And 5, she kind of like every time he's about to do something or kill, she starts to go into those panics, like panic attack almost like, which she didn't really do that in 4. Mm-hmm. So they kind of take it to a whole other level in 5 with Jamie, where it's almost like they can tell by her reaction that he's about to do something, which I thought was pretty clever. You know what I mean? They definitely step it up a notch in her storyline, but. As you can see, which we're about to get into the next one, mm-hmm. I kind of don't remember them picking up. Again, they go like a whole other direction in the next movie, which is why a lot of people who like, or either casual fans or especially diehard fans, I just shake my head. It's like, you keep changing the stories. Now, again, I believe the next one was in 95, which one is the next one? It's
6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Curse of Michael Myers. They waited 6 years.
Yeah.
And they went kind of like in a whole other different direction, which is what, the baby, Laurie Strode's other kid?
Not Laurie Strode's. It's
Jamie's. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jamie's.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right.
So the way 5 ends was different. They actually didn't try to kill Myers. They actually arrested him. And they put him in the jail cell, and it ends with him in the jail cell. But then there's like an explosion or something, and he's free. He's gone. No one knows where he is. They introduce a guy in like a long trench coat, which this kind of came out of nowhere, but all right, whatever. And that's pretty much the only part that 6 kind of picks up on, is he's now free, and the guy in the trench coat shows up in 6. Now, the as far as 5 goes, I think it was, just to quickly sum it up, I thought it was pretty good, fun, entertaining movie. 4 and 5, I think, is a good combo to watch together.
Yep.
And I enjoyed him. And you know what's funny too? I wanted to bring this up and I forgot. I found out that in Michael Myers, in Halloween 4, apparently the mask they have on the cover of the like the posters in the movie is not the same mask he uses in the movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
we forgot to mention that, but yeah, it's not. It's not.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because the one on the posters and the cover looks good.
Yeah.
The one in the movie,
same one.
Yeah, the one in the movie, not as much. But then so 5 I thought was really good to watch along with 4. I think they're a good combination, and they're just fun Halloween films, to be honest with you, entertaining to watch and not too long, which is the best part about it. You can turn off. They're
not the best, but they're definitely not the worst either.
No, definitely not. They're fun. They're fun to watch. Then we jump over to Halloween 6. This is The Curse of Michael Myers. This one, I'm not even gonna waste too much time. I don't know what the hell was happening in this one. I don't know where they were going with this, because so here's the thing. You have a young Paul Rudd.
Yep.
Awesome. I love when you get to see some of these young big stars. Like in the Freddy series, you had what's his name, Johnny Depp, when he was young. Yep. So it's cool to see that. So young Paul Rudd in this movie, he's a creep, just staring out his window. Which, by the way, in his house, his window's huge. It looks like a sliding glass door. So, really weird. And then, like you said, it has the baby, what's
Jamie's.
Thank you, Jamie's baby, and. It's like, okay, so now Michael is upset. First of all, he kills Jamie, puts her in the, which was a cool kill, pins her up against the thing with the spikes coming through her. Awesome, very, very entertaining. then
Psycho.
Yeah, right. Then she, now he's like, I don't know, like now he's part of like a cult, and like we end up finding out that the doctor that worked with Loomis is trying to breed more Michael Myers babies or something
like that. It was. And what about the old lady that supposedly is helping? Doesn't she eventually turn or become part of the cult in that movie as well?
Yes, she's holding the baby,
and she's got that line that my wife loves to walk around the house and repeat: "Little Michael Myers lives across the face." Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is with number 6, when I was watching this, the beginning portion of it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? You had some cool stuff like, do you remember when there's that guy that shows up for like the Halloween party? He has like that long trench coat, and he's kind of like being pervy and stuff to like the girlfriend of the so like little things like that. And when Myers kills him, that was kind of cool. He pins him up in the tree, and the little girl's down there saying that it's raining red and it's warm.
It's warm, yeah.
And then that's when Paul Rudd's character looks up and sees that it's the body, and then it falls and scares the crap out of the little girl, which I thought was funny. So little things like that was entertaining, but then it got weird once they got like into the base, the army base, whatever the hell it is, the lab.
Right.
And when they get in there, that's when you see like babies in test tubes. You find out that the guy in the trench coat is that other doctor that brings Loomis back.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell, man? So this is like a demon cult now. All of a sudden, it came out of nowhere.
Not the worst mask in this one.
No, not too bad.
But the storyline was kind of weird. I mean, We're not
Very-
talking about season of the witch weird, like
Yeah.
alien shit, but
right.
not again, like when you go from 4 and 5, solid storylines,
Yeah.
Jamie, and they kind of pick up. Yes, Jamie dies off. She has a kid. He's trying to kill the kid. I get all that.
Mhm.
But it, again, the storylines, that's one of the most frustrating parts about this franchise is they have these big gaps in between and just poor choices, like editing, not editing, but like writing, producing, just poor, like execution, especially in this one. Like, in my opinion, 4 and 5 is definitely better than this one. 6.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's not even close.
Honestly, as far as storyline goes, in my opinion, this is the worst one. I did not like this story at all. I don't even understand why it was even needed to be all of a sudden now a cult and a demon worshiping cult that's trying to make more Michael Myers or something. Like, what did any of this have to do with anything? Why it was so unnecessary, so unneeded, especially since you're trying to convince us that this is supposed to be just a man. So I don't get it. It was really weird. And the other thing too is there was parts in this movie that you can see where Michael Myers is walking slower on purpose. So that way, almost like the actor could, the opposing actor, whether it be Paul Rudd or whatever, trying to open a door or whatever. And then as soon as that happens, like later on, you see him walking faster. So it's like, well, why the hell was he walking slower, like purposely giving them time to open a door or something? Like you could see stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, I don't know, man, you're walking quicker a minute ago. So now you're walking slower when they're about to open the door. So you got to give them time to open the door. So I don't know, man.
This one was definitely, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself. In terms of storyline and just execution, definitely down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this one, like, and like I said, I kind of already started feeling that way when I first started watching it. There was already certain things that I was kind of like, I'm gonna overlook that, but that's kind of already getting a little weird. And the last half
again,
hour
I want to emphasize, not Season of the Witch bad, but Michael's not in that one. We've already said that, but nonetheless,
no. Dude, this one might be. It might be Season of the Witch as the worst, and then this one right there, potentially right there, because it just they reached so far and for no reason, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it just came out of nowhere. And the only thing that sucks is, unfortunately, apparently the actor that played Loomis, this was his last film. He ended up dying, I guess,
right
after. So that kind of sucks. He was definitely known as Loomis, and he did a good job playing that character. Mm-hmm. So it sucks that this was his last attempt at it. But yeah, and even the ending, like it just kind of seemed like they were like, all right, let's hurry up and let's wrap it up. Like it just kind of was like a quick, like, okay, let's go on and we're happy now. It's like, yeah, okay. There's only one other big storyline blemish. Well, not one other, but there's definitely a big one. And that'll be when we talk about Halloween H2O. And for those of you that already know what I'm going to say, wait for the video, because in that video, in that movie, Laurie Strode has a son that we never hear from again, never see anything about him again.
That's for the next one.
That's for the next one. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But so this one, Demon Cult, young Paul Rudd, we got Loomis back again, older Jamie, and a baby. And the whole town starts to become part of this cult that turns. You know what's funny? This movie, it was almost like the opposite, where the town, or a lot of the people from the town, were like, no, we love Michael Myers. We're part of a demon cult for this guy. It's like, it just came out of nowhere. So
yeah, it's kind of odd, but we want to know what you guys think. Are we being too harsh on 6?
Yep.
Or do you think 5 is worse than 6? Let us know, because me personally, 5 is definitely better than 6. Even with the mask not being quite as good, I would take 5 all day long, as opposed to these two all day long. Storyline, everything, even the mask. I'll take the mask.
Oh, me
I'll
too.
Take the whole movie. Just this one is not good.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah. I think they were trying to do something different, and it didn't pan out. But yeah, I don't want to be on this one too long. I didn't really care for it personally. It was definitely one of my bottom Halloween movies. But 5
agreed. You're not going to get an argument from me on that. No.
Yeah. 5 was fun. It's kind of a bummer they went this way with it, but they ended up dropping that, I guess. So but yeah, so that's it for me, for RB on this topic. But let us know what you guys think down below, and which one did you like better, 5 or 6? So we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
All right.
Later.
Peace.